In this video,
And there's that sneaky right hand of Bert Cooper's.
And Holyfield wobbles in the corner. The champion in trouble. Cooper bangs away. Holyfield almost goes down.
we look back at some of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history.
A left and a right, and down goes Bird.
Let's get straight to it. Smokin' Bert Cooper stepped up to fight the heavyweight champ Evander Holyfield with 3 days' notice after Mike Tyson suffered a rib injury in training.
The right cross was a beauty. And down goes Bert Cooper.
It's a left hook in the body, Jim, was the punch that really hurt him. After the right hand, he took a left hook underneath. Beautiful left hook to the body.
Notice the impact of his body shot in the replay. I can't really remember too many times when a heavyweight fighter was put down by a body shot.
Holyfield was following orders, apparently, because that was as wicked a body shot as you'll see him ever land.
Cooper uses the Archie Moore cross-arm defense, and it can leave you open for body shots. Cooper was fighting like an animal at this point in his career. He came right after Holyfield, and it took everything Holyfield had to be able to hold on and recover.
Fighting Cooper's fight. And there's that sneaky right hand of Bert Cooper's.
And Holyfield wobbles in the corner. The champion in trouble. Cooper bangs away. Holyfield almost goes down. Mills Lane's going to call it a knockdown and give him the count. Evander Holyfield floored in the third round by Bert Cooper.
Here we'll find Cooper coming in. Though he was tired, there's the punch that really hurt Holyfield. Paying the price of not fighting the fight he planned for. Anticipated about a month ago. And if he keeps this up, he's going to have a lot more money in future Christmases.
It very well may be. And in event.
But Holyfield eventually made the adjustment and was able to find the short uppercut inside. Cooper just kept getting hit with the same punch, and Holyfield's diverse attack was just giving him all sorts of problems.
With the right hand, but Bert won't go down. Oh, look at that. These are awesome punches, and Cooper has just about had enough. And he decided not to quit. He almost quit and decided not to do it. And he'll take
The
punishment for it.
uppercut's been the punch, Jim. There it is again. The uppercut's the punch. There it is again. Evander found the key. There it is again.
Yep. Left to the body, right uppercut up the middle. He's landing it over and over and over.
Cooper had actually made an adjustment to his defense after that horrible sequence where he got hit with about 20 uppercuts in a row before. He was blocking them much better, but Holyfield just kept throwing punches from every angle.
But he started to do it again. But now Holyfield rips another uppercut, and Cooper standing stock still.
This could be it now.
Only 15 seconds to go in the round. Not much time for Evander. Cooper staying right there. Target practice, but he's not going to get him. I don't think he's going to get him. Mills Lane has seen enough. Mills Lane stops the fight.
And I thought it was a very good move on Mills Lane's part.
And I agree with the commentators. Mills Lane did an exceptional job stopping the fight right there. I think it's a shame that Mike Tyson got a rib injury and had to pull out of this fight. A fight against Holyfield at this point would have been an amazing fight. Mike would end up going to jail for 3 years shortly after this fight.
But his bonus will be the fact that he will get more fights against some of these young heavyweights.
And look at Mills Lane. He's right there, has the action right in front of him, the way a good referee should.
Round one begins with Bowe throwing the jab. And many people regard that as most effective weapon.
In the first defense of his heavyweight title, Riddick took on the very dangerous Michael Dokes.
Now Bowe snapping Dokes' head back again with the jab. Tries to land the right hand and lands a short right inside. Dokes is stunned. And Bowe takes a left hook.
Dokes was known for having very fast hands and a powerful left hook.
Riddick missing with the big right hand. And down goes Dokes into the ropes. Well, I don't think Dokes went all the way down, but the referee wants to give him what will amount to the first standing 8 count.
Bowe's combination punching is proving too much for Dokes.
it was Dokes who decided to go out there and fight early like that, though.
But notice that Dokes is still extremely dangerous with those left hook counters. Riddick has the mentality of a bull. He also has no problem taking punches in order to land his own. Notice Dokes having success with that hook.
But takes a right in return. Dokes virtually out on his feet. He got a good chance.
I'm
for a
surprised the
first-round
referee
knockout.
is allowing it to go that far.
Is he going to stop it? Yes, he does.
Riddick was just too big, and his combination punching was just too good. I know Dokes is complaining, but I agree with George Foreman. I was also surprised the ref allowed it to go on for so long.
And it was a pretty quick stoppage, even though you say you're surprised, George.
I'm surprised that he didn't stop it a little earlier.
Dokes, as I said earlier, was going to try to make something happen. That big right hand wobbled him, shook him up, and that's what started it. But he was there to be hit. The champion is very good at close quarters.
Bell's accuracy isn't the best in these replays, but I think Dokes' counter hook was on his mind, which is why he didn't go to the body.
Previously, you had seen the sequence in which Dokes reeled into the ropes.
He still got caught with that punch, though, and I think this was a fight where he could have worked on being a bit more patient and picking his spots instead of taking punches to land his own.
And he continued sleeping right here in this fight.
The referee was more than generous. He allowed him the chance to recuperate, not giving the 8 count again. So it was a fair fight. He won. He really won fair and square.
But of course, there are going to be some fans, George, who'll say, hey, wait a minute. We never saw him hit the canvas.
It was by his own fight plan, but perhaps that's also the fight plan of Stewart.
And you know, Larry, down goes Lewis, having caught a short left hand inside.
6, 7, 8, 9.
What is this? The WBC's referee has stopped this fight after a count to 9 with Lewis standing in front of him. And we're going to have a riot here. Jose Guadalupe Garcia stopped the fight in the second round.
I totally disagree with the commentators here, and this replay will tell you why. Watch how wobbly Lewis's legs are when the referee is seeing if he's okay. You can't be stumbling when the ref is seeing if you're okay to continue. Lewis was almost falling over.
That's Tony Canzoneri, raring to go.
Former featherweight, lightweight, and junior welterweight King Tony Canzoneri was a master of his craft. I thought Canzoneri looked spectacular in this fight. He was like a magician pulling knockout punches out of his hat.
A left and a right, and down goes Berg. A tremendous smash. Jackie Kid Berg trying to get to his feet. He's being counted out. Tony Canzoneri ready to continue. Berg still trying to get up, and it's all over. He was KO'd by Tony Canzoneri with that right-hand smash following that left.
The KO punch was beautiful. When the face bounces off the canvas like that, you might as well start planning for the next fight. In my opinion, Tony is one of the very best fighters of all time. If boxing had a Hall of Fame for artistry, Tony would be the Picasso.
Tony Canzoneri, one of the greatest lightweights and welterweights of his day, successfully defending his lightweight championship of the world. A third-round KO against Jackie Kid Berg.
Former champ Floyd Patterson, always the optimist, predicted a quick knockout for Ali. Ali, however, decided to channel his inner dancer and showboat from the start. Not only did this let Ali adjust to his opponent's speed, but it also served as a public humiliation tour for Patterson. Imagine the scene, Patterson swinging away while Ali just dodging and weaving like he's in a dance-off. The left hook was Floyd's specialty, and he was known for delivering knockout blows. But in this fight, Ali was like a human torpedo, fast, elusive, and practically impossible to hit. Ali's jab, it was practically a magical weapon. He walked Patterson right into a brutal uppercut, and even managed a jab knockdown, which is as rare as finding a unicorn in the ring.
Floyd will take a knockdown. Mandatory.
Patterson tried to bring his A game with his head movement, but Ali was in a different league. Patterson patented left hook never got a chance to shine. Eventually, the referee stopped the fight. It was an early stoppage, but by that point, everyone knew Patterson's chances were as slim as a piece of paper in a windstorm. Hopkins was a 2-1 underdog against Puerto Rican legend Felix Trinidad. At the pre-fight face-off, Hopkins threw the Puerto Rican flag on the ground and had to make a run for it.
And threw the Puerto Rican flag to the ground.
Protect yourself at all times. Respect the bell. Touch gloves. Touch them up. Respect, respect. Touch him, Bernard. Let's go, let's go.
Trinidad had a reputation for having a big left hook and was thought to be the younger, fresher fighter. The New York crowd was very pro-Trinidad.
Hopkins beginning to unveil his jab and sticking it accurately for the moment.
Once he tastes any of Trinidad's power, then you really...
Hard right hand by Hopkins. Biggest blow of the fight. Trinidad momentarily stunned.
Nice overhand right there. Hopkins figured Trinidad out quickly. Despite the hype around Trinidad, Hopkins was the one controlling the fight.
Found him in range.
I thought Hopkins' jab was working, but Trinidad was a warrior, and he knew his left hook was an elite punch.
Felix is a marathon runner who builds the tempo from round to round, and he's trying to build it with the left hook right here. 4 straight left hands by Trinidad.
I thought Hopkins was beating Trinidad to the punch and staying defensively responsible. I didn't see Trinidad getting that many punches off in the fight.
Of skills as he continues to outbox Tito.
I don't believe what I'm seeing.
And Hopkins was the guy controlling when and where the action took place.
And the biggest thing Hopkins has accomplished by my lights is he's just refusing to bend to Tito's will. He's still making Tito fight his fight.
Notice Hopkins landing and getting away here, completely outboxing Trinidad. He was outboxing Trinidad like he was reading a bedtime story to a sleepy child.
And for the first time in the fight, Hopkins is grinning at Tito Trinidad.
Here we see straight right hand, but Hopkins is not loading up on these right hands. He's throwing short, quick punches and getting out of the way.
In the 10th round, Trinidad had to go to war with Hopkins, and it was all Hopkins now.
A real champion in Trinidad because he's come through some serious fire.
This is the determination of Felix Trinidad.
Trinidad is going to have to take some chances.
And it's being matched by the determination of Bernard Hopkins. What an awesome show. What a great, great fight as we come down the stretch in the 10th round.
Blood coming out of Trinidad's nose.
At the end of the round, everyone realized that Hopkins was totally in charge.
Most of the crowd on its feet as they watch the two fighters trade through the round and beyond.
And Trinidad almost looks out on his feet.
Notice that the first right hand sets Trinidad up for the uppercut he wasn't expecting.
Bernard Hopkins' patience during that fight resulted in that round, but you heard the question in Trinidad's corner.
It was all Hopkins now, as he went looking for the finish.
Hopkins imposing his will and his skill on the man who is tonight the lesser fighter. Oh, huge right hand. Huge right hand by Hopkins. Down goes Trinidad. I'm not sure Tito can get up. He's got the desire. He's never been knocked out. This fight is over. Steve Smoger stops it. No.
Bernard
Tito Trinidad comes in.
has done it.
He knocked out Trinidad.
Bernard Hopkins has put himself up there in the list of all the great middleweights.
Hopkins went looking for the finish, and I liked how he came inside and changed the angles for the right hook.
Down in the middle of the 12th round and cannot continue.
The narrative going into the fight was that Hopkins was the older guy on his way out. But people didn't realize he was in his prime and ready to deliver a boxing masterclass.
That's weapons from the guy that they're using against you. If the guy has a gun, you get to the gun. You don't run from it because you got a better chance on smothering or got a better chance on getting to the gun. I had to take his left hand away from him and smother his shots and keep my defense up, a good defense. But I do have a good defense just as well as an offense. Trinidad is a left hook guy. That's all he had. And I've been watching him for years.
In his first title defense, the Prince had what was probably the easiest fight of his career against Said Lawal. It was the first punch of the fight, and Lawal was in serious trouble. It was like he walked into a door he didn't know was there.
That was the right hand we were worried about. The fight's all over.
I think Lawal was probably very intimidated and overawed by the occasion.
Yep, it's all over. All over. The most clinical finish seen in the British ring for some time.
A lot of knockouts happen in the first round because fighters haven't had a chance to warm up.
Punch it through, he stepped in with the punch, it was a wide hook.
It's called getting caught cold, and that's exactly what happened to Lawal.
You see, in he goes, supreme confidence. Just looking, out it comes, wide punch, bang, perfectly on the chin, and it's all over. The referee could really have stopped it then. He decided not to. One more punch, doing exactly as he pleases. Yeah, tremendous punching and tremendous power. And once again, we're amazed at where Naz finds this power, where the power comes from.
I've trained all my life from the age of 7. This is why I'm so good today.
In my opinion, the best thing about Jermaine Taylor was his 1-2 punch. Taylor was very patient early in his career because he knew he had the speed and athleticism to land his right hand if he was patient enough to wait for it. He just scored a jab knockout there, and you know, you're looking at a highly skilled fighter when he has the ability to score jab knockdowns. If you attack Taylor carelessly, he's also got the counter right hand. Watch out for that punch.
Roy Jones, very much an entertainer in the ring. Some of his idols, Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. And Jones says that he spends as much time in putting together some of his... Stackhouse down with a straight right.
Ricky Stackhouse was expected to provide sterner opposition, but Roy Jones turned him into a stack of pancakes.
Now this is how a fighter gets hurt. Look how dry Ricky Stackhouse is. He has not even broken a sweat coming into this opening round. And with a young tiger of fast starting like Roy Jones is, this is over.
Ricky didn't even see the punches coming.
Jones goes to 12-0 with his 12th knockout. Ricky Stackhouse, we haven't even had the time to get into his story.
Roy's hands were so fast, it's like trying to dodge raindrops. You're gonna get soaked.
In the first round, Roy Jones, I think it even surprised him. It was a quick, sharp shot, but a shot that should have been survived.
And Joe Jones is notoriously a fast starter. What you have to do when somebody fights Roy Jones is they have to be ready in that first round because Jones is going to come right after you. That's just what he did. He starts early and he likes to finish it early. Good combination.
Well, I'm pretty fast, and most of my punches have a lot of speed on them, and it's the shocking effect of them. That's what puts people on their backs. And after I hit him with the shot, I knew it was a good shot, and I kind of figured he should go down because he was still cold when he came out of the dressing room.
Well, if Frank Bruno is going to make any impression on the world heavyweight scene, this is the country in which he has to really look good. And this fight tonight is all this...
Bruno faced tough Mike Jameson and delivered a knockout so fierce, it was like a fireworks show on a rainy night.
That was a good left hook, and it's taken everything out of Jameson. His leg came up, his right leg came up as he got hit, and the following punch sent him crashing down, and that, I think, is going to be the end of this fight. Bruno has just shown the American public what he can do with a punch. Lawless is delighted. That is an amazing win. He threw 2 quick punches, and he knocked everything out of Jameson, who's also cut into the bargain. Let's have a look. His leg came up twitching as he got hit. It was an extraordinary blow. And he's still on the floor, Jameson. There's the left hook. His leg there's the leg in reaction coming up. And that following right uppercut as he was about to go down. took him out absolutely cold. They were two terrifying punches, and he's cut as well.
Jameson's leg even did a little dance after the left hook, showcasing Bruno's dynamite in either hand.
That was an extraordinary finish. Well, we talk about Bruno's punching power at home and the fact that he can punch with either hand, and he's proved all that in the matter of seconds here in Chicago. Well, if ever anybody wanted a demonstration of what Big Frank can do, there it is, and he's done it in front of the American public. Well, a quiet first round, and then in the second, this. That's the first terrifying left hook. The reaction to that is extraordinary. I once saw Ingemar Johansson in a similar trouble against Floyd Patterson, and as he was just about going down, Bruno let the right uppercut go. I think the first punch might have finished him, but the second one put it quite terribly beyond doubt. They must have been two of the best punches you've ever thrown.
I think so, Harry, yeah, but I just thank God for him.
It was the speed on him. One came, you know, so quickly after the other. You had enough time, quick reaction to get him as he was about to go down.
Yeah.
That was tremendous.
Thank you, Harry.
Anyway, more fights in America for you, maybe?
Well, in the near future, I hope, you know, Harry.
You must fancy a chance over here.
I do fancy my chance. I'm getting confident every time, not being flash or nothing, but every time I'm stepping into the ring, I feel, you know, good, and I feel the combinations and the rhythm coming. Yeah. Nice one, James. Thanks a lot, yeah? Nice one. Can I just say hello to my girlfriend, Laura, and my baby, Nicola, at home. Hello, Laura, and hello, Mum. Hello, Mum.
Well done, Frank. Anyway, congratulations.
Spence working the body now. Earl Spence Jr. Raymond Charles, opening round, scheduled for 10. Nice left hand, knocks down Charles.
It's a body shot. I don't know if Charles, he doesn't seem inclined to get up. It was a nice body shot, but it wasn't that difficult. Looks like it might have stung, but he is.
Brutal body shots are par for the course when it comes to Errol Spence, but I think he also has a really nice left hand upstairs.
Charles trying to survive the round here against the 2012 Olympian. Nice left, right. Spence, another left. Charles on the ropes, trying to hold on. Spence moves away. Spence has him on the ropes. 10 seconds, and that's it. Referee steps in. It is over. Earl Spence Jr. 7th time he's knocked out his opponent in the first round.
Spence has perfect balance, and all of his punches are heavy punches because of that.
Get up. He's very patient. Oh, and he did. He caught him with a shot on the chin. I thought it was to the body.
Using that left hand very well now.
Yeah, and he caught him with the left hand, a short left, right on the bottom of the chin, and set him down. And
Spence can box your head off with a jab. He can slug it out and break a guy down with heavy combinations. He can counter, he can go inside and land powerful body shots. He's a pretty complete fighter.
Shot that put him down. The left right under the chin. And here's the end. This is how he finishes it up. A flurry of punches, unanswered punches. And Charles goes down, and the referee determines that he's had enough. See what the telling shot is here. Oh, it's an uppercut. It's a left uppercut that sort of set things in motion. And then he comes back, and it's just a flurry of combinations of right and left.
Well, it's a cautious start by both fighters. You know, Kelly's still very, very unsure of himself. Lovely right hand, beautiful shot.
Yeah, terrific right hand by David Haye. Just feinted, showed him the left, and he brought that round the corner. And remember, this is a man who has been stopped, and he's got him in one. What a great right hand by Haye. This could be a very, very impressive scalp, and I don't think Mickey Van's having a good look at him.
If you don't have good reflexes and David Haye can land cleanly on you, that is a recipe for a brutal knockout.
Round 2. Haye is so heavy-handed, he really...
And there's a little look in Kelly's eye which suggests that he doesn't fancy that right hand coming across for a third and perhaps conclusive time. We shall see, but what a good opening round by David Haye. Bided his time, went for the uppercut.
I think at this point in Kelly's career, he was a sitting duck for a punch Haye was going to throw.
So sure right now that's the right tactic. He should go in behind that jab. There it is.
He doesn't have to worry about that. He can. The calls come in, and Kelly has been stopped. And this is the most impressive piece of boxing Haye has produced. And Kelly is all over the place. What a finish by David Haye. against a man who's rated some 30 places in the world cruiserweight rankings above him.
The replay will show how brutal that right hand was. Hay got a clean shot on the chin of Kelly. Of all the punches I wouldn't want to take in boxing history, this is right up there.
What a punch, what a delivery, what hand speed, and what a result.
It just looks like such a painful punch to take. That would be the last punch that Kelly would ever take in a boxing ring. I can't blame him for retiring after something like that.
They had had quite enough of that, and that was the contest over. Mickey Vann could do nothing but agree.
Yeah, real and helpless, as we hope to show you a bit later on. Jones at various times, because of his speed, has been compared to an Ali for quickness or a Sugar Ray Leonard. He definitely has the speed advantage over Vaca.
Jorge Vaca was coming off a big win, knocking out Mark Breland and sending him into retirement.
Thrown by Jones.
But then he made the cardinal sin of boxing. He hung out on the ropes against prime Roy Jones. That's like trying to take a nap on train tracks. You can guess what happens next.
But neither of them landed solid.
Jones lands against the ropes. And the left hand, down he goes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's it. That's the fight right there. And it was that right hand that was down by his waist. Got clipped with the left hook sitting on the ropes, Len.
In stunning fashion, Roy Jones Jr. goes to 16-0 with 16 knockouts with the big left hook. Vaca wanted to leave town and hurry this afternoon.
He got knocked out faster than you can say bad idea.
The right hand left hook, uppercut. This is where he had Vaca on the ropes, where Vaca shouldn't have been. But here's the knockout here, where Vaca's against the ropes again, and he's going to drop that right hand, and look, one left hook, bingo. That was it. But his hands are dangerously low for sitting on the ropes with a guy with this much speed like Jones, and bingo. That hurts. Well, it is a different angle. Look at that. Jones just countered right off of Vaca's jab and leaned in and threw that crushing left hook, and that was it. Lights out. This kid Jones is going places because Vaca doesn't usually get knocked out that easily.
Galeno promised his friends this scrap wouldn't go beyond 5 rounds. When Lewis heard about it, he said, sure, but he'd be the one to end it with a knockout over Tony. Tony also said he'd murdered Joe, and he called him a bum.
The vicious punching of Joe was on display early in this fight. Tremendous shots here.
Right cross and left hook. What a power combination. Galeno up at the count of 2. That was the first time Galeno's been knocked down in all his 11 years in the ring. Hard left to the jaw by Galeno. Lewis up at the count of 2. This is a surprise.
It's not often you see Joe Louis make a technical mistake in the ring. He did here. Joe's looking for his brutal left hook to the body, but notice how he drops his right hand as he throws it. It might have been complacency from Joe. That left to the body is a dangerous shot to throw as a lead punch.
Left hook on his jaw. The first time since winning the title that Joe hits the canvas.
Joe came out and corrected things.
Galeno completely helpless. Tony drops to his knees. He's in bad shape, and the referee stops the fight. It's all over.
Coming inside on the Brown Bomber is a very risky thing to do. Notice how Joe makes space for his compact inside punches. Notice the impact of these punches in slow motion. You simply cannot survive Joe's combinations if he lands. The power in his punches is just insane. It's like watching a wrecking ball in slow motion.
Joe Louis rings up his 7th straight win as heavyweight champion of the world.
Tiene que agacharse para intentar de esa forma evitar los golpes, Wilfredo, pero nada capea este temporal, este huracán que es Azuma Nelson.
We have seen the fearsome Gomez beaten by Salvador Sanchez, but this was something different.
Su tremendo corazón ha mantenido a Wilfredo Gómez todavía en pie de lucha y todavía tirando golpes y sacando ya todas las mañas del costal. Y conecta Wilfredo ahí, buena derecha, pero Se lleva otra sólida derecha a la cabeza y de nuevo en malas condiciones se va a la lona Wilfredo.
There was a lot of shock in the audience when Wilfredo Gomez went down in front of his hometown fans in Puerto Rico in the 11th round.
Dice Wilfredo fue resbalón, pero no que va. Iba herido de un golpe de Azuma Nelson que lo vuelve a conectar con la derecha y ahora sí se desploma Wilfredo.
This final knockout was shocking. Nelson folded Gomez up like an accordion with the punch.
Se acabó. Se acabó la pelea, dice el referee. Azuma Nelson is the winner. A thunderous right hand to the...
Nelson was a beast. He was tough as nails and a fearless warrior. He had no problem traveling into the Lion's Den and doing things like that. He's one of the most underrated fighters of all time, in my opinion.
Ahí está Azuma Nelson siendo levantado en hombros, el africano coronándose campeón del mundo.
Half a minute to go then in round 5. Well, just as I said that, Cortez took a shot and turned. Well, did he turn away?
The body punching of Ike was a sight to behold at times. He really hurt Cortez to the body there.
Punch there from Corti. Shows what a good finisher he can be.
6, 7.
Up at 7. Takes the man at the corner. The towel's coming for the corner. So it's all over then for Alberto Cortez in 5 rounds against a very, very good champion. Ike Bazooka Quarty.
Ike was a lot of fun to watch, kind of like a cool robot made of iron. I always thought his jab was his signature punch, but I loved his consistent body attack. Ike reminded me a lot of Errol Spencer. If you ask me, I think Ike is a better version of Spence.
Watch it again from the reverse angle this time. In fact, this was where he turned away. And I think he just about had enough by that point. And referee Cristalula turned it around and said, carry on. So an unfortunate loser then, Alberto Cortez. But I'll tell you something, this man, Corti, at 24 years of age, has got a very bright future.
Coming up. And a great defence again here by Canizales, and a little tough warrior there in Rolando Bohol. He's been on the deck, seems to have got over it. Had a fairly good round, but no. Oh dear, he's rocked there. He won't get over that, I wouldn't think. No, he really picked him off there.
Orlando is one of my all-time favorites. His timing was great for that knockout.
Time since he's been knocked over like this. And it's too late down, he's collapsed there. And again, the crowd going crazy for Canizales. He really is one of the great champions of the modern game.
He was certainly a skilled and beautiful fighter to watch. When I first saw Lomachenko using the angles, I immediately thought about Orlando.
The way the legs have gone here, nothing left.
Orlando Canizales then still the IBF bantamweight champion, and that's the way it's been for nearly 6 years. Britain's Nassim Hamed is expected to make a challenge for that title next year.
Oh, a right hand that connected, and Dan Sherry is hurt. And down he goes. He got 2 right hands in a row. Why? Once again because his left hand was down. He's at 7, 8.
Chris Eubank said that Dan Sherry had the fastest feet of all his opponents.
Once again, Dan Sherry using the ring well, but again, no punches. No punches at all. And he just walked into a right hand shot, which staggered him. Get off those ropes, Sherry, and hold on to him.
But he's going to survive the round.
Vinny didn't have any problem tracking him down, and that left hook to the body was a beautiful punch.
Just takes the air out of you, stuns you. It's a terrific shot. The bell is rang. I don't know whether he's going to get up. It's over.
It's over. And correctly, Schmoger did the right thing.
Vinny wasn't everybody's cup of tea. I liked him a lot.
Pinned him against the ropes. Sherry will escape, and then there's a shot to the liver. A great left hook. Bang! There it is. Unfortunately, the referee was in the way, but trust me, it was a dynamite shot.
You can see that he always fought with a lot of heart and tenacity in the ring.
Sherry tries to slide off the rope, so you can still know he knew what he was doing, and he just got caught. Bang, what a shot.
Way to hang in there, Dan.
When we talk about Mexican champions, Lupe Pintor often gets overlooked. He was a great champ, and I really liked how he closed the show here with his left hook. His signature punch. I'd love to have seen him against the likes of Morales, Barrera, and Juan Manuel Marquez, because I think he'd be very competitive against them, and I think he's on their level. The combination punching of Joe Louis was on full display against Jack Roper. Louis was probably the most devastating inside fighter in the history of the heavyweight division due to his fast hands and devastating power.
Take a closer look at Joe Louis's combination and power punching in slow motion.
During his long reign as champion, many opponents were terrified in the ring due to the intimidating factor of facing Louis.
Keep yelling at him to do. That right cross begins it.
In this fight, Louis brutalized his opponents with vicious combination punching.
No man can stand up to Louis and take that kind of punishment.
Middleweight king Carlos Monzon is considered by many people to be the best middleweight in history. In this fight, we see Monzon's long, fast, straight punching caused a lot of knockdowns on Tom Boggs. Boggs got hammered. Boggs showed tremendous heart to keep getting up. Even the vicious Monzon was gesturing to his corner as if to say, "What do I have to do? Kill this guy?" This is the only time I ever saw some emotion from Monzon in the ring. He was usually as cold as ice in the ring and did a methodical job on his opponents. Every time I watch prime Sugar Ray Leonard, I'm mesmerized by his hand speed.
Well, Leonard has to be a little careful. The saw pitches head against Leonard's forehead. The quick right lead and another chopping right and another. And you see the wobbly leg and down goes Finch. It's the third knockdown of the fight. And Mills Lane, Leonard keeps going to his own corner instead of the neutral corner. It's time to end this. That's it. Mills Lane.
The difference in speed between Sugar and his opponents is comical at times. It doesn't feel fair that Sugar should be allowed to fight against opponents because of the difference in hand speed.
And in fact, he got a couple of extra seconds on that knockdown simply because Sugar Ray did not go to the farthest neutral corner. So Sugar Ray Leonard is the winner by a technical knockout here in the third round. And it was very impressive regardless of the competition. Sugar Ray Leonard is just getting better with every fight. It's just that simple. Let's take another look.
Even in slow motion, his speed looks ridiculous.
Buckle the knees. And you can see, look at the knees of Bruce Finch. He just had nothing left at that point, and almost any other punch would have put him down. In fact, Ray did not really hit him with a solid punch after that left hook. Buckle the knees. Let's take another look at it. Watch the left hook. The right hand set him up, and the left hand brought him back. You didn't quite see it because it was behind you, and you can see the dance that Bruce Finch is doing at that time. He was out at that juncture.
I think that Sugar was one of the most complete fighters ever and one of the very best pound for pound.
Hand really that did do most damage, not so much the left, but there is the left, and that was the final punch. Sugar Ray taking a step back from it and really just waiting for Bruce Finch to fall. The legs are the first to go, and they went on Bruce Finch, and after that it was merely a question of how long it took the challenger to fall down.
In the heavyweight division, there are two men who I think are the best combination punchers in history. At the top of the list is the great Joe Louis. In the close second place is Evander Holyfield. Notice the great variety of these combinations. Evander's footwork is an important part as he can manage the distance and come in and out with powerful shots. The punches come to head and body and from all kinds of angles. We know Michael Moorer as a heavyweight, but he started his career at 175 pounds. He was a huge puncher at that weight and blasted through all his opponents.
The top cat, he did get up at the count of 9, went to his corner, and Toby Gibson came over and said, that's all she wrote.
But he made a business decision to gain weight and fight as a heavyweight for bigger paydays. It's hard to know how good he could have been if he stayed at 175 pounds, but I suspect he would have been an absolute beast.
Stakes are high, the World Cruiserweight title.
This fight was for the IBF World title at Cruiserweight, and one thing about Lampkin was that he could punch. I thought he was a bit of an inconsistent guy, but he could definitely punch.
And since McCrory doesn't have the reputation of being an exactly concussive hitter, just a slip that I think, although there was a body shot in there, was there? There's a low punch from Lampkin.
That's the weak thing when you're trying to do weight. That's weakening. It's sad. When you're trying to do weight, oh no. Oh, yeah, he's run. Pulled it off.
The punch, the fight is all over. I mean, great controversy here. I thought that was a slip. A body shot went in there. The referee has counted McCrory out. One body shot. Well, that really did explode from nothing, and Glenn McCrory's title has gone. Look at this again. The punch was certainly landed inside there. It was a left hand right underneath the rib cage, and it just...
I could feel Glenn's anguish. He so wanted to get up, but simply couldn't move.
If Jeff Lampkin had put $4,000 on himself to win inside 3 rounds, he's done it.
This was just a terrific body shot that was set up by touching Glenn upstairs.
Tough, hard fight here, and Lampkin suddenly found that left hook there and a delayed action fall by McCrory, and he was counted out.
The heavy-handedness of Edwin Rosario was really on display in this fight. I've said it before, but when it comes to a question of who is the hardest puncher ever at 135 pounds, Edwin Rosario has to be right up there on everybody's list. Rosario just has the kind of power where one solid punch changes the whole dynamic of the fight. I don't think he carried that kind of power up with him when he left 135 pounds. But when he was at 135 pounds, he was an all-time great as far as punching power goes.
Energy, and those right hands, I think, were doing a lot of damage, and this one was a finisher.
Well, he threw about 6 punches there, and I think he only missed one, and even...
Qui se retrouve dans le vide parce qu'il y a esquive. Voilà. Une droite.
If you've watched our first knockout compilation of the series, you would have seen the brutal body shot knockout by Roy Jones to Virgil Hill. Very few body shot knockouts come close to that in my opinion, but this is one of them. Corday was always a very good body puncher, and he uses multiple jabs to get himself inside to land the perfect right hand to the body.
Et puis, ça amène derrière, avec tout le poids du corps, bien vissé. Un coup dans les flancs, il n'y a pas le poids, il n'y a rien à cet endroit-là, les côtes. Et sur les côtes, ça fait très mal, croyez-moi.
Et là, il y a une force, il y a une puissance dévastatrice. Vous voyez le résultat. Mais il y a aussi une vitesse. On l'a vu à la salle dans les quelques rounds de gants qu'il a fait. Il y a une vitesse, il y a une technique.
Il y a un charisme, il a pas mal de choses. Hein. Je crois qu'il vous a demandé plein de trucs déjà pour Paris.
Ah oui, c'est vrai, il a demandé ce qu'était le team Canal Plus exactement.
The opponent was badly hurt, and I think that punch was so hard that it actually hurt me too.
Il va rester plusieurs minutes au sol. Il va mettre du temps à récupérer tant Quartet frappe fort.
Bo came into the fight against Mathis even heavier than his last one. After blasting Mathis with a sledgehammer right hand and putting him down, Bo threw an illegal punch while Mathis was on the floor.
And you can see Bo trying to work on the inside. And Mathis just goes down to one knee. I mean, he really wasn't hit. He just decided to take a timeout. And that's when Riddick Bowe nailed him.
The fight was declared a no contest. Bo was lucky not to get disqualified. In this Bruno fight, the mismatch was so clear, it was like bringing a tank to a pillow fight.
And Sharky's only 13-11 and just under 6 feet. And he's complaining that Bruno hit him on the back of the head, which is not a very good start for an experienced pro like Sharky. That was 1977, he went in with Weaver.
Bruno outweighed Bill Sharkey by 25 pounds, and it showed.
6 years ago. And over goes Sharky, fairly predictably, I would have thought. Flat on his face, and almost certainly flat out. Yes, he is. All over. 2 minutes and 10 seconds on my watch. And Sharky was hanging all over him, and up comes the right. That's precisely how you put Jameson away in Chicago. But there's no doubt at all that Bruno is a sensational young prospect, and Britain is lucky to have him.
And Mason has eased off his work, and he's allowing Biggs to settle down behind the left. And Biggs clowns again and says, that right hand hurt me. Oh dear. Well, Biggs stopped him in 5 rounds, but he wasn't very impressive. In fact, neither man was. So,
I always kind of felt sorry for Terrell Biggs. He was an Olympic gold medalist as an amateur and looked to have a promising professional career, but he just didn't seem to have enough power in the pro ranks. He was game in his defeats, but was always found wanting and just didn't look strong or powerful enough.
good right hand from Mason. And if he could follow up now and really get the man against the ropes and hammer him, it might change Mr. Biggs' mind about things. Now he's thrown him over. That's a stone and a half advantage that did that. Unless Biggs is getting very, very weak on his legs. It's all about determination and who's going to stick with it. Oh, he's got him with a right hand. He put a short right hand in. And I think the bell's gone, but the count will continue. And he's out.
Mason caught a tiring Briggs with a 1-2-3, and Briggs lost again. I just think it was sad how he never achieved as a pro despite showing a lot of heart in his losses against monsters. I felt like the potential was there for him to be a much better pro. Mason was a solid operator, but I think Briggs at his best would have beaten him.
To the fight. But it had the desired effect, and the man in white suddenly was spread eagled. And so Mason has pulled a famous victory out of the fire. Because quite honestly, I thought he was on his way to defeat. He looked to be getting slower and slower. He hardly seemed capable at the end of throwing more than 1 or 2 punches. But in the end, he produced the one that mattered, and he got rid of the man who'd been taunting him. So Gary Mason has very firmly tonight put himself high into the international rankings. He was ranked world number 10. He might well go up a place or 2.
10 rounds, 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The bell cannot save either man. A right hand buckle the knees of Norton by Jerry Cooney. First punch of the fight.
The fight between Kenny Norton and Cooney was absolutely savage.
Hand to the stomach, and another right hand to the side of the head of Norton, who stands on the ropes. Left hand to the heart by Cooney. Norton bangs away now at Cooney in Norton's corner. And another left hand scores it again. The legs of Norton wobble. Norton is hurt in his own corner. Cooney trying to measure him. Misses 2 uppercuts, but scores with combinations of left stance. Norton straight up. Norton is about to drop. Norton is on his knees, and finally...
Cooney's obliteration of Norton in the corner, and the referee did a horrible job there. Norton looked like he was seeing stars as he tried to recover from the insane beating he just took.
Power of Jerry Cooney. Ray Leonard, I think that doubt was put to bed right here.
Right. Cooney went out and did pretty much what I expected, but that was very dangerous when he was able to deliver 5, 6 blows, and the referee just stood there. I think the referee should have stopped the fight a lot sooner.
I really don't understand what the referee was waiting for. Norton was completely out, and Cooney had several free shots. One thing about Cooney, he was a murderous puncher. Letting him have these kind of free punches on an opponent is very dangerous.
Very good point, and that Tony Perez may have considered stepping in a little bit sooner than he did. Norton was out on his feet. Norton is still on the floor in his own corner.
Very hard, and you said it early in, you know, he deserves to go into the next century with a good rest, I think. He doesn't want to be back too early next year.
He might have to be back quite early to fight Pithy. That could be February.
Michael Gomez was a fighter who always gave value for money. He was a front foot guy, and you usually got great entertainment in his fights.
Oh, and a big right hand. He might take Galindo out here. He's stopped in the 11th round. He forces the...
It's the 11th round, and Gomez is not the type to box to a decision. I like the way he always went to the stoppage, and I thought this was a good stoppage from the referee. Gomez was limited, but he was one of my favorites.
And power. Mickey Vann got this dead right.
He did. Look at these 3 punches, 4 punches.
May not get him in this round, but round 10 coming up. "35 seconds left. Oh, there's a right hand, and Larry Hazzard steps in, saving further punishment to Johnny Davis.
If you've watched a few videos of my knockout series, you probably know that I consider Michael Spinks to be the best 175-pounder in the history of the division. That was a thunderous right hand by him there.
Light heavyweight champion did it in the 9th round.
I like the killer instinct in Spinks here, staying on Davis with the double jab to set up that clinical right hand. I don't know of any other 175-pounders who would be able to go up to heavyweight and beat Larry Holmes twice.
They stepped in. So on the scorecards, it was 79-73, 79-74, 78-73. So Michael Spinks was way ahead on the 3 judges' cards under WBA rules. So all of this action coming at 2:27 of the 9th round. A couple of game battlers. While we're waiting for an interview with...
I had to add this knockout into the video because I just love the setup.
Bit of a mixed record. Just winning more than he lost. Oh, right hand! And that lays Fulton down. Terrific shot that from Tox Owo. And is Fulton going to get up from that? The count is at 7. And no, he will not be allowed to carry on. And Owo makes it 2 wins out of 2, and both of them in pretty quick time. He looks like a puncher.
He certainly does. That was very impressive. A tremendous right hand. He was nice and loose, just relaxed, landed with decent punches, but didn't look, and then that one came as a complete surprise.
Awol throws the body shot, and then the wide, sweeping right hook. It's like a hybrid between a right hook and an overhand right. It was the right punch for the right time because it landed so sweetly. What a knockout. It sometimes amazes me how the opponents get to their feet after taking these punches. That was such a brutal punch, and although the opponent was clearly in no condition to continue, he did get back to his feet in time, which is pretty impressive when you consider the brutality of what just happened to him.
And it's a good punch.
World champion Omar Narvaez has never been stopped in 46 fights. That all changed when he traveled to Japan to fight Inoue. Inoue has perfect technique in his punches, and this slashing body shot was thrown perfectly.
And while you're looking at that, Zielinski has taken a couple of strong lefts, and there he goes down with a left to the jaw, up very quickly. Mandatory 8 count, but it's a matter of time, it looks like, for Jim Zielinski.
Zielinski is game, but his balance is terrible, and he just keeps getting caught with punches because he's all over the place.
As his corner said, if you see, you can take him out a left and then a right as he went down. That's all. Randy Newman is going to stop it. And Vinny Pazienza of Cranston, Rhode Island, is now 7-0.
The stoppage was good. I give Zielinski credit for effort, but he was just completely outclassed.
Strong amateur record of better than 110 fights.
Vinny often showed no mercy to opponents when he was on his way up.
A boxer many consider a living legend. Well, he's much shorter than Arguello, and he has been reaching in a little bit. If he gets nailed coming in...
Oh, good left hook. Goes Arguello down to the canvas. A solid left hook. Just as Gil Clancy said he might be reaching in, he stepped in and landed that left hook.
A lot of people thought Andy Ganigan was in over his head against the great Arguello. Ganigan jumped on Arguello early and shocked everyone. Arguello gets back to the ropes, and notice he just has no exit and gets caught with the left.
There's the solid left hook that sent him to the canvas. And Arguello, we'll see it one more time. Right there. No, that's not it.
Here it comes.
Right to the body.
It's a straight left hand right to the chin, and down goes Arguello.
Big right hand. Ganigan picked it up well. Oh, he knocks him down with a solid right hand.
The great Arguello had perfect timing when he was in his groove, and he caught Ganigan with a lovely counter there.
And another. Arguello almost inexorably taking control as we come into the final seconds of round 5. The champion knocks him down at the bell.
Arguello wasn't happy at getting dropped early. Ganigan was ripped up to the body and spent a few minutes on the canvas recovering.
Gonna make it. He cannot get up. It is over. A 5th round knockout at the bell by the champion Alexis Arguello.
It's rare to see perfect bolo uppercuts to the body like that. Arguello was an absolute beast.
Combination, and then I think a big right hand will send him to the canvas.
Yes, before that right hand, I hit him with 2 good left hand to the body. and then the right-hander, that one was a good one.
Yeah, good solid left hook and a right to the body. Yeah?
Then I tried again because I knew it was hurt.
I was wrong. He's a great champion, and he knows how to handle himself really good.
But when the overconfident Dotiel moves in for the finish, Jake LaMotta suddenly opens up. Dotiel knows he's been fooled and tries to hold and run, but LaMotta, always devastating inside, won't let him get away. It's LaMotta to the body and to the head. Against the ropes, Dotiel is in trouble.
Going into the final round of this fight with the middleweight championship of the world on the line, Jake was well behind on the cards. Jake opens up, desperately looking for the finish.
Both men blaze away. It's a real Donnybrook.
Notice Jake looking for the left hook. Jake will simply not stop punching.
And LaMotta scores a dramatic knockout over the very capable Laurent Dotiel. It's Jake LaMotta, one of the greatest crowd pleasers of all time, winner and still middleweight champion of the world.
This was an incredible come-from-behind performance by Jake. He was past his prime, but pulled out a great victory and became the middleweight king once again.